Welcome in, along with Bruce Gradkowski. I'm Steve Palazzolo, and this is your Will Grier NFL Draft Profile, the West Virginia quarterback, where I think opinions are all over the place, Bruce. We've had a very strong grade on him at PFF, but still have some concerns about his game. What have you seen from Grier on film from what you've watched?
Well, I think he has a lot of experience, a ton of yards. The guy drops all those raindrops out of the sky over the shoulder.
He is really good at that, yes.
You know, so he does a lot of good things on film well. You know, I have some concerns with him, you know, with maybe his arm strength is lesser than I would have anticipated. So then when you get to the NFL, those throws he needs to make, like a comeback or a big in or a bench route, can he make those throws? And those are the types of things I want to continue to look at.
Yeah, so I had to dive into the numbers here because when you watch Grier on film, it's good, but I'm looking at the PFF grades, over 90 over the last 2 years. They're excellent, but when we dive into it a little bit more, you mentioned those over the shoulder, the rainbows. That's where a big chunk, almost 2/3 of his big-time throws have come from. And when you compare that to the NFL level, you just don't get as many of those opportunities. Right. And my biggest concern, I think, is that he doesn't have the big-time throws. He hasn't been as good at the deep, what you said, the ins, the deep outs, the deep crossers, corner routes, those types of plays that you're going to have to make at the NFL level. Any concern that what he's done at West Virginia might not be as translatable to the NFL?
Well, I think kind of that stuff. You know, it took me a while, a couple years to learn those 18 to 20-yard routes, how to throw them, the footwork that ties up to them, the 7-step drop, one hitch, anticipated. You don't have to rifle it in there, but you have to have enough arm. And I worry, does he have enough arm, first of all? But also, if he does, it'll take a couple years to get into that rhythm and understand and feel what kind of throws those feel like. Because at West Virginia, when he's used to just throwing those, maybe a 30-yard fade ball over the right shoulder, he's been excellent at. He's known when to take advantage of those. But in the NFL now, then you start getting to the range, the 40, 44 yards downfield, those goal balls in tighter coverage. That's what I get concerned about.
Yeah, I'm with you there because, yeah, his over-the-shoulder numbers for us, the best we've seen over the last couple of years. I think he can make those plays at the next level, but you can't make your entire living off of those plays would be the concern. Also, when he's thrown to the middle of the field, he's pretty good working off the RPO game. He's got that quick release. But in college, the middle of the field is so wide open when you're coming off the RPO. What's the difference between maybe the college game and then the pro game, throwing over linebackers and a more crowded middle of the field that maybe Grier didn't see in the Big 12?
Absolutely. You pointed out crowded. It's going to get crowded and tighter. When you're making NFL throws now, you got to be pinpoint accurate, put it right on the numbers, upfield shoulder. Sometimes it's back shoulder. Sometimes it's giving a tight end a chance down the middle of the field. And I think Grier's a system guy. It's going to be dependent upon where he goes, who he's behind, can he learn, can the system help him? And now with the RPO game, you know, coming into the NFL realms, and every team does it now, this could only help him. So I think with the right system, the right pieces around him, he could be successful if he's able to use his mind to help him with a lesser arm talent.
That was one of my notes there, that, you know, when the game plan matches up, he makes all the necessary throws. And that's why he shows well in our system. West Virginia did a good job of game planning. The Big 12 isn't the best defensively, but he makes the necessary throws when things match up. I guess my concern was when the defense showed a little bit something different after the snap, things went a little sour sometimes. And that, you know, so can things match up properly, get the right offensive coordinator, and I think he can have some success.
And that's what's tough in the NFL, because defenses are going to be moving around. Now you're dealing with a 4 down, 3 down. Who's your Mike? Where's the offense line going to? And then you have to worry about the coverage. Where's your matchups, going through your progressions, and now worrying about your footwork. So it all ties in together. But, you know, like all these quarterbacks we talk about, it's the time they're going to put in to learn the system, understand it, control what they can control, knowing your offense, knowing where to go with the football and being accurate with it. If he can handle those things, he can have a chance.
Yeah, and that's why he's a little bit higher for us than he is for others, because, again, we're going to assume that he's got some help at the next level, and if he has that, then he can execute. When I was watching him, he reminded me a little bit, not clean across the board, but a little bit of Derek Carr. We saw that game winner against Texas where he just dropped it in the back of the end zone, hit some incredible throws and feel for throwing guys open, much like a Derek Carr, but you also have some of those what are you doing type of decisions that Derek Carr had on film over the last few years, and Grier also has as well. So again, not a perfect comparison across the board, but I think there's something in there where it's like, wow, and then what are you doing?
Absolutely, and it's funny you said that. My comparison I thought about, I don't know what you think, is Rex Grossman. I feel like sometimes when he's bouncing in the pocket, And you mentioned earlier about he drifts back in the pocket some. And, you know, I just saw Rex Grossman just bouncing up and down and how Rex used to just flick that thing across.
Some great throws, some not so great throws for Rex. Yeah, I think Grier also maybe overrates his own athleticism in the pocket sometimes. There's a few times he's trying to juke defenders.
Look, us quarterbacks are overconfident, okay? I don't have that pretty...
You would never do that, right?
I don't have that pretty hair you do, but I married outside my league, and I have no hair, but... Yeah, us quarterbacks, we're a little too overconfident.
Trying to juke those defensive linemen coming at you. But look, with Grier, the overall package, we like it at PFF. We think in the right system he can succeed. He's number 3 on our draft board. But there are some concerns, the stuff that you brought up and the stuff that I've brought up as well. Just to wrap that up too, when he moves off the spot, one of the worst grades in the entire draft class. So much like these other guys that aren't Kyler Murray, needs a lot of help at the next level.
Absolutely, and I think when you talk about moving off your spot, happens a lot in the NFL. You have to move off your spot quick, fast, and make a quick, decisive decision. So these are the things, like we point out again, he's going to benefit the more he goes to the proper system and be behind somebody that he can learn from and grow.
So there you have it. It's your Will Grier NFL Draft Profile, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite.